start off with the new model. Let me start with sharing the screen. Okay, so is the PPT visible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so today we are going to start the new module, that is module 3, artificial neural networks. Right, so this module is very important, and it is one of the very uh, prominent domain in the field of complete machine learning. Most of the applications, most of the algorithms that you see, and real world problems with respect to machine learning that you see, they mostly incline towards this neural networks, and somehow have the solution, ANN have the solution for most of the problems that are existing. So, as the name suggests, artificial neural network, we will have a deep dive into how these terms are related, what do they mean, right? And I'm pretty sure that those who are planning to do project in machine learning as your final year project, uh, you most of them, not all, but most of them will be definitely using this artificial neural network. So keeping those things in mind, this module will be very important for you. And as in when we proceed, you will see that how machine learning, this artificial neural network is kind of a backbone to the machine learning, right? I think there are a few more people who are willing to join. Please, I request all the participants to join on time. I have already given 5 minutes extra for you to join. And those who have joined late, please drop your roll number in the chat box. Okay, so as I said, artificial neural networks, it's one of the very important field in overall machine learning domain, right? So understanding ANN, artificial neural network, is very important, and of course, it will be very useful when you are really looking forward to have project with respect to machine learning. We'll have understanding how these artificial intelligence work and what are the different problems with respect to this ANN. Right. So before that, let me quickly uh, walk you through the topics that we'll be touching upon in this particular module. So right from the introduction to what is the artificial neural network and what is the biological motivation, right? As the name suggests, it is artificial neural network. So there's a biological motivation behind it. So we will understand what is that biological motivation, how these neural networks can be represented, right? The way to represent these different types of neural networks. Then, as I said, what are the different problems present out there in the real world which can be a suitable problem for this type of machine learning, right? For artificial neural network type of machine learning. So, what are the appropriate problems for these neural network learning will be understanding. And very important aspect of artificial neural network, that is perceptrons. The complete understanding of artificial neural networks is based on this topic of perceptron. So we have to understand the basics. What do we mean by a perceptron? How those perceptron behaves, communicates amongst each other, and so and so. So as and when we proceed, we will understand this very important topic of perceptron in this artificial neural network, right? So we'll be understanding the representation power of the perceptron, the way the perceptrons are represented, and how is representation of those perceptrons is important, right? Then the training rule for those perceptrons, and the gradient descent and the delta rule. So we'll be learning about these two rules, the gradient descent and the delta rule for perceptron, and ultimately we'll see what are the remark for perceptrons, and we'll be learning about one more very important algorithm, that is the backpropagation algorithm, which is, as you know, is also part of your lab experiment, right? So we will understand what are the different problems which can be solved using back propagation algorithms, how this back propagation algorithm is one of the basic algorithm when we talk about artificial neural network or ANN, right? So let's move ahead and start with the introduction part of artificial neural network. Yeah. So, as the name suggests, the artificial neural network, right? So, neural, you all might be aware with the thing of what we call as neurons, how neurons in the body affect, or how neurons in your mind affect your thinking or actions, whatever the decisions that you make, right? So, the structure, basic structure of neuron, you all must be aware with, right? We have axon, we have dendrons, and other the whole structure of neuron. But as in when we proceed, we'll get into it. But you can imagine what a neuron looks like, right? So the artificial neural network is something exactly what we are trying to mimic the behavior of neurons, how neurons play a role in our human body, exactly the way we want to mimic the behavior in the machines, right? So that's why the name artificial neural network. Now, as we all know, there are millions and millions of neurons in our whole body structure, right? Human body. So it's a complete network. Uh, like a neuron in a mind, just if you compare the neurons that we have in the mind, we have so many neurons, and every neuron triggers some kind of thinking, and every neuron is connected to each and other neurons, right? So it's a network, it's a web, you can say, that we have. So similar kind of structure is what we want to incorporate in the machines. The reason being, in order to improve the thinking capability, or the correlation between the different aspects that we can make the machine to understand. So, just to put it, just to give a simple example of how this artificial neural network can be useful, the ANN, artificial neural network, it provides a general practical method, right? Why practical? Because as you must be aware that we as a human, the decisions that we take is based on the real-time problems that we see, right? So similarly, the ANN or artificial neural networks plays a role when we talk about machines, right? The ability to take the decision depending on the real life problem or a situation, right? A practical problem is where the artificial neural network will be helpful for the machines, right? So artificial neural network, it provides a general practical method for examples, like for example learning a real valued, right, the real data, the actual data, because most of the problems, most of the few algorithms, the basic algorithms that we have seen so far, the values that we saw, they might not be exactly accurate or might not be real time, maybe few ideal situations, uh, is that what we have discussed earlier. But ANN provides you that flexibility of having those real values or the actual values, and processing those real values to come up to a conclusion or a decision, right? So learning those real valued, also the discrete valued, right? Discrete valued is what we have seen earlier, right? The values which are very, you can say, you can guess the values, which are very uh, easy to understand. For example, it can be a simple yes or no, a binary answer, right? A zero or one. A discrete value, the value which has a specific answer to it, predefined answer to it. So it is useful for those type of examples also. Then apart from these two, real valued and discrete value, the artificial network provides us to make use of the vector value functions also, right? So vector, you must have already aware with the what we call the vector, right? Can anybody tell me what is a vector? Taking you back to the basics of physics. Can anybody tell me what is a vector? You have learned this, what is a vector, what is a scalar, right? Yeah, any volunteer who would like to answer what is a vector? Simple question.
An object which has both direction and magnitude.
Very good, Slippy. So vector can be any particular thing which have a value or magnitude and dimension, right? In very rough terms. So those values can also be useful here in the artificial neural network, unlike what we have seen in the previous cases, right? So one such important algorithm in the this whole artificial neural network is the backpropagation algorithm, which is a very basic algorithm. Of course, there are a lot of other complicated examples when we talk about the algorithms which can be uh, related to neural network. But one of the basic algorithm is the backpropagation algorithm, which we'll be also learning here in the machine learning lab as well. Right. So, what is the use of this backpropagation algorithm? Well, it uses the gradient descent to tune network parameter. Now, what is this gradient descent? We have already seen, right? Gradient descent factor, if you can recall discrete mathematics, or maybe in the uh, I think first 3 4 lectures we have discussed about what is a gradient descent, the gradient descent error. So the backpropagation algorithm uses that gradient descent to tune the network or modify the network parameters, right? To adjust the network parameters for what? To make it best fit for the training set that we have, right? In order to make it best fit for whatever the training set that we have, what training set of what? Training set of all the input and output pairs, right? What is the input? What is the output? What are these input and output pair? What we have as our training set, in order to make the data best fit for that training set, via the backpropagation algorithm uses that gradient descent and tunes the complete network, right? Network of what? Network of different nodes, which are actually perceptrons in this case, right? So we will learn about these things, but just keep these things in your background of your mind, so that whatever we discuss so far, next in the coming slides, will be easy for you to understand, right? So the the main reason of having this artificial neural network learning is the fact that it is very robust to the errors, right? So we have seen in the previous examples the finders algorithm, the candidate elimination algorithm. They were not pretty well when we talk about the erroneous data, right? If the training examples, the training data set have error, then it will affect the overall performance or the overall accuracy of that particular problem, right? But also we saw an example in the decision tree learning, which was fairly comparatively good compared to finders and candidate elimination algorithm. It was fairly good with the erroneous data, but the artificial neural network is more robust to the data if the data has some kind of errors, right? So it is robust to the error in the training data and has been successfully applied to the problems like interpreting the visual scenes, right? Interpreting the visual scenes, the best example can be like again the autonomous vehicles, right? So how they operate is they basically take the whatever the surrounding is there, whatever in front of the camera or view, the overall view you can say. It takes that as an input. It analyzes, it interprets those scenes, different scenes, right? Whether there is an obstacle, some kind of a signal present, or any pedestrian crossing the road, or any other different car moving in same direction or opposite direction. So basically capturing those visual scenes and interpreting it, right? That's where the ANN comes into picture. So all the most of the advanced problems that we see today in machine learning, they mostly deal with the artificial neural network, right? So interpreting the visual scenes is one such problem. Then speech recognition, right? The why speech recognition can also be a good problem for a ANN is because there can be errors with respect to speech recognition also. Errors as in not proper pronunciation of a particular word or a term, right? That is nothing but an error. So ANN plays a very important role because ANN is robust to those errors. So how it deals with those errors, or what are different types of error depending on the problem, we will learn in the subsequent lectures. But these are the predominant problems wherein the ANN can come into picture, and ANN can give an attempt to resolve those erroneous data and produce a fairly better result, right? So speech recognition and also learning robot control strategies. So that is one more thing, because uh, as I said, autonomous vehicles. Autonomous vehicles is basically it can be controlled. They are nothing but controlled vehicles, right? So one such example can be learning a robot control strategies. So these are the few problems wherein ANN plays important. Now, these things, why I'm stretching upon these things is because few of you guys who have not yet decided about your project, you can pick up ideas from here, like how uh, different problems you can think upon to be to create your as your final year project, right? Or something related to, for example, let's say if you want to create a small project wherein whatever the let's say whatever we record here in the Google Meet, this whole thing can be getting converted into a text, right? So today we have so much technology. We already have Google speech to text document wherein you can convert simply the audio into a text document, right? But how can you like perform this whole as an experiment? For example, let's say you design a interface wherein you can conduct a meeting, and whatever is being discussed in that meeting, that audio in that meeting is getting converted into a text document and is being saved or for the record purpose, right? So that can be a very simple project, but of course there can be many more features which can be added to those, right? For example, the problems may sound simple, but there are a lot of other things behind it. For example, a wrong pronunciation of a particular word, you have to deal with that data, right? You have to train the machine in such a way that if there is a wrong pronunciation, it can predict or pick a nearby word which is sounding similar to it from the set of word which you have already predefined it, right? Let's say you have the bag of words, and if a particular word is mispronounced or not clearly audible, so at least the system has to be trained in such a way that the algorithm is able to pick the best suitable word from the selected words that we have framed for that particular wrongly pronounced word, right? So these problems, these machine learning problems, it may sound very simple, but when you try to implement those things, they are a little complicated, right? So, but of course, you can take the idea from here as and when we discuss here, and those who are planning for like to create a final year project in this domain in machine learning, then definitely these are few of the ideas that you can draw. Now, the neural network learning method, what it actually provides, as I said, it provides the robust approach to approximating the real valued, right? Approximating the real valued, the discrete valued, as well as the vector valued target functions. Now, for certain problems, the problems like interpret the complex real world sensor data, right? We are like talking about the smart cities, a lot of IoT based applications, so there'll be so much devices will be associated with, right? So when we have so much devices, so much equipment, or for example different types of sensors, so every second, so there are a lot of data being uh, you know taken from these sensors for the processing purpose, right? So learning to interpret those real world sensor data, it can be anything. It can be, for example, weather data, or something related to traffic management data, right? The flow of the traffic, what time the flow of the traffic is most, when it is least, right? So a simple sensor which can detect, let's say, a particular railway gate, right? We have this sensor installed on a particular railway gate, and we just monitor that when the traffic is going to be maximum at that particular railway gate, right? So having those sensors, those data is actually a real time data, right? This is not a random data set that manually created or some created with some random figures. This will be a real time data. So whenever we talk about the real time data, it will be a little complex, right, compared to the ideal situations. So interpreting those complex real world sensor data, artificial neural network are among those most effective learning methods currently known, right? So as I said, most of the machine learning problems that we see, so the solution of those problems, they somehow come down to the artificial neural network when we talk about the solution for those problems. So from that point of view, the artificial neural network is very important to be learned for any machine learning engineer or anybody who would like to come up to us with a solution for a machine learning problem. You can say, in other words, that machine learning, the artificial neural network is kind of a base or a like the core aspect, the heart of the uh, overall machine learning. Right? So, just to give a few more examples with respect to this backpropagation algorithm. So, this particular algorithm, of course, we'll be learning about this particular algorithm as we cover up the basics, basics and fundamentals of this ANN, and also we will see how this algorithm behaves. Like when we program this algorithm and when we see this as a part of our lab, we will understand it in more better way. But just to give you a overview of why this algorithm is in this place and how it is useful, this particular algorithm is very well proven for the real-time applications. For example, problems like learning to recognize the handwriting characters. Right now, when we talk about the handwriting characters, it will not be that easy, right? Because everybody having different handwriting. Uh, a person, the way he or she writes letter A might be different from the other person, or a person writing letter G. There are many people who write a few characters in very fancy way, right? For example, F, G. So they have the different way to write it. So recognizing those difference in those particular characters is again very a complex task. So recognizing handwritten characters, learning to recognize spoken words, as I said, speech to text, right? And learning to recognize faces, right? So again, this is very important. You must have already come across few of the news that few of the airports in different international airports, they have this uh, face recognition for biometrics. Instead of biometrics thumb impression, they uses their face APIs to recognize a person or recognize the identity of that particular person, right? So backpropagation algorithm at the back of those applications, you can see that algorithms like backpropagation algorithm are useful, right? So we'll be learning about the basic algorithm here, but of course those algorithms can be fine tuned or modified according to the problems, right? Fair. So now moving ahead with a basic understanding, let me give you a just an overview of how this artificial neural network has the roots back to the biology or the biological aspects of a human body, right? So the very motivation of this artificial neural network was the human body, right? And in particular, in human body, it was the neurons, right? So the behavioral of neurons or how neurons play important role in our human body is the main motivation behind this artificial neural network. So the researchers, if I have to recall, there were actually two groups of researchers. There were two groups of researchers who were given this, who have taken this task of understanding this behavioral of neural network and this machine learning. So basically, these two groups. One group was given the task of understanding how these neurons in the body behaves, operates, and responsible for whatever the actions that we take physically, whatever the decisions that we take mentally, and such things, right? So overall behavior, more of a biological inclined research was given to one of the group, and the other group of researchers were given the task of understanding how a machine uh, can be made to behave like this by creating some algorithms, right? The machine learning algorithms. So these two groups, one group which was purely or more mostly inclined towards the biological aspect of understanding these neurons, uh, and the other group more involved in creating those algorithms by giving simple tasks to the machine, simple behavioral for it. So you can say one was a little more inclined towards the biological aspect of understanding the behavior of neurons, and another group was more into the algorithms, more technical, more programming part of this thing. So these two things are a little different, right? Though the motivation behind having this artificial neural network for machine learning have the roots down to the neurons, but it cannot be. It is near to impossible to mimic exact way how a human behaves or thinks, or in short, how a neuron in a human body behaves or thinks, and it cannot be exactly mimicked in case of machines, right? There will be a gap. There will be few exceptions. Uh, Not every thing can be exactly mimicked in the machines, right? So there is a gap here. So here, in the artificial neural network, whatever we are going to learn here in this model, it will be more of this other group, the second group, which was more involved in creating those kind of algorithms, those artificial neural network algorithms, which are helpful for the machine learning, right? Instead of getting into too much biological aspect, we'll be only focusing upon how different algorithms play a role by taking this basic understanding of how neuron works. Right? So our main focus here will be on understanding these algorithms, uh, how these algorithms can be fine-tuned depending on the different types of problems. Right? So that is the actual motivation of having this artificial neural network from the human body. So I will give you such more examples as and when we deep dive into what is the biological motivation behind this artificial neural network. Right. So just to give you an idea, just to give you a basic view of how this ANN can play a role, let me show you a short video which deals with this thing. So you can think upon similar lines as a part of your project. But this is just a video from the YouTube that I'm going to play now, which is actually an autonomous car, a remote controlled car, which had few devices installed on it, basically making use of few sensors, microprocessor, and how the behavior, you can see in the video how different, uh, depending on the situation, depending on the obstacle it has, how the decision is made by the car. So let me play the video and let me know whether the audio of the video is. Let me. I mean, let me know whether you can like listen to the audio of the videos as well. So as you can see here that the first window, the small window that you see here, this is actually the camera which is mounted on the car, the small remote control car, and this is the camera which the programmer has just installed just to view the overall track or the arena of the uh, remote control car. So you can see here this is not a very complex task for a normal, person driving a car, because it is simply a curve. But in order to make this thing understand to the machine that there is a curve and you have to take a turn. Now, when we talk about turn, again the question arises at how much degree of turn, how much should I rotate the steering wheel, and so and so. So when we as a human think of these problems, they are not at all a problem to us. They are just the task, simple task, you know, in our subconscious mind, and without you knowing, without you even sending a signal to your brain that I have to take a left turn or a right turn, you subconsciously take a turn, right? But in case of machine, of course, we have to define each and every aspect. For example, if it is a left turn, we have to make the system understand that it's a left turn. And if it is a left turn, then how much degree uh, angle I have to turn the steering wheel in order to make that uh, complete system, that is the car here, align to the track, right? So just have a look of how these different scenarios in this particular video, and how the car makes the decision, and also have a look upon this lower window, this if you can see lower down, lower bottom window on the left hand side, you can see these are the instructions, real time instructions, or the real time data which the system is undergoing, right? So you can see here left, 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 left. So it's the continuous message which is given to the system that you have to take a left. So depending on the different scenario, different input, the instructions will change. So I'll not interrupt here, just go through the complete video. Yeah, now you can see here that there's just a simple stop signal which is like at a junction. Now here you can see here the device, which is the automated car here, the remote control car, it is not just observing the obstacle or just not moving forward. The simple instruction is not just to move forward with the acceleration, but also do another task, which is the image processing, right? Now it is capturing that image. This complete, you can see the window here. This complete image is captured by the machine, which is the car here, the gray image, if you can see. This image is then taken as the input by the system and processed. How it is processed? It is processed by considering the different aspects given in the given picture. For example, we have an obstacle coming up here, we have a text written stop here. So it is not just taking this complete scenario into the as the input, but also processing in the real time. So it is reading the text which is there present on the signboard. It is converting that text into the instruction to the system, and that instruction is again given as the input for the next action to be taken. Right. So let me play again and show you. Yeah. So here you can see. Yeah. Here you can see the stop signal is identified as the stop, and this instruction is given to the system, and then the decision to stop the vehicle is taken. Yeah, please don't forget to notice here also the stop time or the stop instruction given to the system. Okay, so as you saw, how different scenarios were given to the remote controlled car, and depending on the whatever input is given, it processes the decision to be made for that particular car. Right? So these are few of the pictures of what are different equipments used. As you can see, if you might have already guessed, this is a Raspberry Pi module microprocessor which is installed on the system, along with few sensors in front of the device here, right? So these are basically to detect the distance, whether any obstacle is present or no. And here at the top of the microprocessor, you can see there's a small camera attached which is used to capture the input, right? So can be a simple example of how artificial neural network can play important role. Right. Of course, this is not just artificial intelligence. There are different aspects, other aspects related to it. But this problem can best suitable problem for artificial neural network. So this was actually from the Bridgewater State University, who performed this experiment in May 2015. Right. So similar things you can look forward to, as your final year project, and you can incorporate some of the features along with these, so that it becomes a full-fledged project. So in order to accomplish that, in order to do that, you have to be strong enough with the fundamentals of what we are going to learn here in theory. Uh, Specifically, people those who are looking forward to do project with respect to machine learning and specifically for artificial neural network, then this module is going to be very really important for you. So with this, we'll conclude the lecture today. If you have any doubts, you still have 3 minutes. If you have any doubts, you can ask. Yeah, anybody, any doubt? You can either put it in chat box or unmute your mic and ask the doubt. Okay, so if there are no doubts, then we shall conclude the lecture. You can join the next lecture. Thank you.